Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Stories That Matter. In this episode, we'll be talking about politics. And this is about Maharashtra's political crisis that happened in 2022. Now, the reason why I'm covering this issue is because for a very long time, I'm seeing that there's a lot of things happening in Maharashtra, and the political parties are in a chaos. From the split in NCP that happened recently to the split in Shiv Sena that happened earlier, there's a lot of things that we can learn from this entire political turmoil. I would definitely recommend you to watch this video till the end if you love to talk about politics, would like to know more about politics, would like to understand Maharashtra's political situation if you are confused and you have no idea what's actually happening from start till end, and also if you want to know my opinion in the end. So the political crisis in Maharashtra started on June 21, 2022, when Eknath Shinde, who was a party member of Shiv Sena, along with some other MLAs from Mahavikas Aghadi, which was the alliance in 2022, relocated to Surat in Gujarat, which was under the control of BJP. Now, this is the introduction that I have given you, but let's understand why we're talking about Maharashtra. Maharashtra is a very prominent state in India where a lot of things happen, from development to education. A lot of people come here for jobs, and it's also a state that has a vibrant political landscape. So, before talking about all the recent political earthquakes that happened in this state, let's first take a look at the major political parties that exist in this state. So we'll mention the top four parties and the parties that are involved in the entire crisis: Shiv Sena, Congress, NCP, and BJP. Shiv Sena is a regional political party with a strong hold in Maharashtra. It was founded by Bal Thackeray in 1966, and it primarily espouses the ideology of regional pride and protection of Marathi interests. Indian National Congress. Now, the Congress party has a significant presence in Maharashtra and has been historically dominant in the state's politics. It has had many instances of governance in the state. Nationalist Congress Party. Now, NCP was founded in 1999 after a split from the Indian National Congress, and it is led by Sharad Pawar. Bharatiya Janata Party, that is BJP. BJP has grown its strength in Maharashtra over the past few years. It has formed alliances with regional parties to gain power in the state. So that was about the political parties. Now let's talk about the key issues in the state. So Maharashtra faces various types of challenges given its large and diverse groups that live in the state across various cities, such as infrastructural development, agricultural issues, industrial growth, unemployment, regional disparities. Coming to the political alliances, in Maharashtra, political alliances are crucial to form a stable government because the party system is kind of fractured. So coalitions often emerge in the state after elections, and the major political parties also form pre-poll coalitions. Coalitions are basically when two or more parties they join hands together in order to form a government and choose an elected CM and chair. That's how they govern the state for a given set of years. The main point of this video now is MVA, that is the Mahavikas Aghadi, which was formed in 2019 after the 2019 Maharashtra Legislative Assembly elections. It comprised of Shiv Sena, NCP, and Congress. So this alliance came into existence after the fallout between Shiv Sena and BJP that had actually fought the elections together, but there was a breakout between them. So let's talk about the government formation in 2019. The Maharashtra Legislative Assembly elections happened in 2019 and resulted in a hung assembly. So what is a hung assembly? If no single party receives maximum number of votes or the majority number of seats, then it's called a hung parliament or a hung assembly. Basically, everybody is hanging in between because there's no clear majority. So who will take charge of the government? That becomes an issue. So what will happen then? If there's a hung assembly, this leads to a formation of coalition government where parties start to discuss and negotiate with each other and they form an alliance. So the alliance can be, if there is an alliance that existed before the election, the pre-poll alliance that can continue, or that breaks out and there's a post-poll alliance that is created and the parties then go ahead with that. These elections were held in October 2019. The results that showed a hung assembly had BJP with 105 seats out of 288 seats, and it fell short of the majority mark. Shiv Sena won 56 seats, NCP won 54 seats, and INC, that is Congress, won 44 seats. On November 8, 2019, President's rule was imposed. So after the assembly election results, due to the lack of clear majority, President's rule was imposed in Maharashtra. What is President's rule? This means that the state will now be under the direct rule of the President of India until the parties decide on a stable government. Now, Shiv Sena demanded an equal share in power, which was allegedly agreed upon by the BJP. So, this includes BJP members, that is Amit Shah, that had denied it publicly later on. Shiv Sena demanded the post of chief minister for 2.5 years, according to the alleged 50-50 agreement. Now, the present CM from BJP, that is Devendra Fadnavis, denied any such formula being agreed upon between Shiv Sena and BJP. That is where their breakup happened. BJP eventually ended up breaking ties with Shiv Sena, and Shiv Sena has been a very old ally of BJP, so it became a very big deal. On November 2022, Shiv Sena joined hands with NCP and Congress to form the Mahavikas Aghadi, where Uddhav Thackeray became the CM. So the entire alliance was formed to collectively have the major number of seats, the majority number of seats to form a government, which was 145. Now coming to December 30, 2019, where MVA wins a floor test. What is a floor test? Floor test is basically a term that is used to test the majority. So, if there are doubts against the chief minister of any state, they can then be asked to prove the majority in the House. A floor test is primarily taken to test the majority of a government, whether that government still enjoys the confidence of a legislature. Of course, after forming the government, MVA had to face a floor test in Maharashtra on December 30, 2019, and Uddhav Thackeray led government comfortably won the trust vote with 169 MLAs supporting it. So basically now the Mahavikas Aghadi is formed. It brought in some very unlikely partners and formed a government that faced a lot of issues during its tenure. So the fair share of challenges included differences in policy approaches and ideological stances among the alliance partners. However, all the leaders of the MVA party appeared to be working together to maintain the stability of the government. So where did the problem begin? When the BJP won 3 out of 6 seats in the Rajya Sabha elections on June 10, 2022, the internal strife within the party was brought to light for the first time, so we could see some peaks of it. Shiv Sena and its allies were predicted to win 6 seats in the Maharashtra Legislative Council elections on June 23, 2022, but they only took home 5. Now, according to some reports, numerous Shiv Sena members crossed over to vote for the BJP in the other 5 seats. Coming back to Eknath Shinde. Now, Eknath Shinde was actually in favor of breaking the Mahavikas Aghadi and re-establishing the BJP and Shiv Sena coalition. He requested Uddhav Thackeray to break the alliance, and his request was ignored on multiple occasions. So he gathered two-thirds members of the Shiv Sena party that were in his favor, that supported his request, and the entire Maharashtra political crisis really started from there. So Shinde vanished and was unreachable immediately following the results of the Legislative Council election. Uddhav Thackeray had called a meeting with all of his MLAs on June 21, 2022, but 10 to 12 MLAs were also unreachable. And Shinde led a group of 11 Shiv Sena MLAs in a flight to Surat, that is the capital of Gujarat, which is under the BJP rule. During this time, there were small things that were happening, like Eknath Shinde had removed the word Shiv Sena in his Twitter profile, and he held a lot of talks with BJP leaders in his hotel in Surat. Basically, Shinde did not want to lose his MLAs. He needed at least 37 MLAs to support him in order to break the Shiv Sena and join with BJP. So on June 22, Shinde had said that he relocated 40 MLAs to Guwahati, Assam. So after failing to persuade Shinde, Uddhav Thackeray finally decided that he is ready to resign from his position as CM. So the next day, on June 23, Shinde was named the leader of the Shiv Sena Legislative Party by himself and the 37 other MLAs that he had. On June 24, the Shiv Sena filed a petition against the rebel MLAs and requested that 16 MLAs from the Shinde camp be disqualified by Maharashtra Assembly Deputy Speaker Narahari Zirwal. Zirwal spoke with Shiv Sena officials before seeking legal advice from Maharashtra's Advocate General, and the heads of Thackeray and Shinde camps were asked to discuss their defenses of the disqualification. Two independent MLAs who backed the BJP introduced a resolution of no confidence against Zirwal, and then Zirwal apparently disregarded the 34 MLA no confidence vote because it was made by an anonymous email and not by an MLA in person. Back in Gujarat, on the same day, Eknath Shinde met with the Home Minister Amit Shah and former Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis to discuss forming a new coalition, that is the BJP Shiv Sena coalition, to overthrow the Mahavikas Agadi. So eventually, we come to the resignation of Uddhav Thackeray, and he resigned from the post of CM of Maharashtra as well as from the Maharashtra Legislative Council after the Supreme Court decision was made while addressing on social media. The Electoral Commission gave Eknath Shinde's faction the name Shiv Sena and the party emblem of a bow and arrow on February 17, 2023. As a result, the political crisis was declared over and Eknath Shinde had formally been recognized as Shiv Sena's sole leader. He also became the next Maharashtra chief executive on June 30 after Shinde and Fadnavis staked their claim to form the government. At a news conference, Fadnavis stated that the BJP, the majority party, will abstain from participating in the cabinet and instead support Shinde's administration. So there were a lot of reactions to this, and the BJP president JP Nadda had asked him to lead as the state's deputy CM and join the administration. So later on the same day, Devendra Fadnavis decided that he will take oath as the deputy CM while Eknath Shinde takes oath as CM of Maharashtra. So the governor of Maharashtra, Bhagat Singh Koshyari at that time, and Rahul Narvekar, who is the Speaker of Assembly, were found to have violated the law during the crisis according to a Supreme Court ruling from May 11, 2023. According to that ruling, the governor called for the floor test before hearing from the rebel Shiv Sena MLAs about their decision to stop supporting the Uddhav Thackeray administration. The court also declared that the Eknath Shinde side cannot be described as a split and that they risk having their status as MLAs revoked. Here's another important point to be noted. According to the ruling, Uddhav Thackeray's government cannot be reinstated because he resigned at the time without taking a floor test. So if he hadn't resigned during that time as chief minister, Uddhav Thackeray's government could have been reinstated. There were chances, but that did not happen. So now I hope this explains very clearly what was the entire MVA timeline. Now, other things that need to be noted while this entire political turmoil was happening, and even before that, is the arrest of a few ministers. So there was a lot of chaos that must be happening internally as well as externally. But the two major ones were the arrest of Anil Deshmukh and Nawab Malik. Now, the senior NCP leader Anil Deshmukh, he had taken charge of the Home Ministry of Maharashtra. So he was the Home Minister during the MVA coalition in 2019. He was accused by Parambir Singh, who was a former commissioner of Mumbai Police, in a letter from March 2021 of bribery. So, after the Bombay High Court ordered the Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) to launch a preliminary investigation into allegations of corruption and misconduct made by the former commissioner Parambir Singh, Deshmukh resigned from his position as the Home Minister of Maharashtra. Now, due to those allegations that were made by Parambir Singh, CBI started investigating Anil Deshmukh. Deshmukh was untraceable for more than 3 months starting in July 2021 and missed 5 appearances before the Enforcement Directorate during that time. He was legally detained on November 1, 2021, though after the Bombay High Court on October 30 had rejected his request to have the Enforcement Directorate (ED) cancelled. Deshmukh was kept in jail by the Bombay High Court until November 12 after the judicial custody was disregarded. Coming to the second NCP leader, Nawab Malik. Nawab Malik was embroiled in a personal dispute with Sameer Wankhede, who was a top NCB, Narcotics Control Bureau officer at that time. On February 23, 2022, Malik was detained by the Enforcement Directorate without any notice in connection with the money laundering investigation and his alleged connections to crime boss Dawood Ibrahim. So ED was investigating a property deal that was signed by Nawab Malik, and according to some claims, Malik purchased the home from Dawood Ibrahim's aide for less money than the ongoing market value. February 2022 till now, August 11, 2023, Nawab Malik was kept under custody. During this time, he also suffered some medical complications and was shifted to a hospital, to a government hospital and later to a private hospital. Very recently, the former minister has been granted interim bail by the Supreme Court based on medical grounds for 2 months. Now, that's something that happened just before the entire break of MVA. And very recently, coming to the present time, a split has happened in the NCP. This was triggered on July 12, and after 9 MLAs, including Ajit Pawar, a very prominent leader in the NCP, joined the Maharashtra government, that is, joined hands with the BJP. So I hope now that we are very clear with what actually happened in Maharashtra, what went wrong, how MVA was formed, and how it broke. And now, till now, what all things happened in between? What were the major points that we need to discuss? Now, here comes the important part: asking the right questions from this entire situation. It was obvious that when Shiv Sena formed an alliance with Congress and NCP that were completely different ideologies, and Shiv Sena had broken up with BJP because they had the same ideology, they had the same ideas, they were such strong allies for a very long time, and suddenly they broke up and they formed an alliance with very unlikely partners. It was quite clear that there is going to be something going on. It's highly possible that something may go wrong in this entire alliance. It was just a matter of time that MVA would break. Now, coming to the current situation that we are having is that Eknath Shinde is the CM, Deputy CM is Devendra Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde is from Shiv Sena, Fadnavis is from BJP. So that is one thing that has happened. Entire politics that are happening outside of that alliance, that is the break of NCP. Congress for now is a little bit intact. There is nothing happening, but there are a lot of MLAs from various other parties that are being invited to BJP, that are actually going into BJP for several reasons. Maybe they are being offered a lot of money, maybe they are seeing their own personal interest with BJP, maybe they are aligning more with the ideologies of BJP, whatever. Leaders like Anil Deshmukh, Nawab Malik, they were strong voices and powerful position holders in the entire alliance, and maybe one of the reasons why the alliances were formed. That's the reason why specifically these leaders were targeted. Why are these politicians, after so many years, such old cases like money laundering cases, this cases, that cases, why they are emerging now? It's not that either it's a false accusation, it's a false case that's clearly being created, or it's a targeted case. So for this long period of time, all these MLAs have been doing so many wrong things, and we were just not doing anything about it. Nobody was talking about it, and suddenly, when they wanted to break an alliance and they wanted to form a coalition and take over the state politics, that's when they started to target specific politicians. Another thing to note is how Nawab Malik has been given a bail after when Ajit Pawar went to the BJP party. There's a lot of speculation and there's a lot of weight on what side will Nawab Malik choose. Will he go with the Ajit Pawar side or the Sharad Pawar side? Because he has good relations with both. The bigger reason to see is that he has also got a 2 month bail. That means that it's possible, it's highly possible that if he chooses Sharad Pawar, he might go back in jail for various legal reasons. And if he chooses Ajit Pawar, then he might be given a permanent bail or he might be even taken off the case. Who knows? So that depends. That is only something that time will tell us. What's the question that we need to ask right now? The big question for us citizens is, where do you stand? The citizen, you, me, and everybody else, the normal people, stand in this entire chaos that politicians are creating for us. We have given our vote, but there is no value for that vote. In the state of Maharashtra, you can see this, and this might be happening in other states as well, and it has happened in the past as well. It might happen in the future as well. And to stop it from happening in the future, it's very important that today we ask the right question and we focus upon what is important and not the chaos that the media is trying to create. Where does your voting right and your free speech stands in this entire situation? Anybody is forming any alliance, breaking any alliance at any point of time, any MLA is creating its own coalition, creating a new party. So one single party is becoming two Shiv Senas, two NCPs. So what is happening? There are no laws, there are no rules and regulations. There has to be some limitations that if you form an alliance for the given period of time until the next election, there cannot the alliance cannot break, or the government cannot break. If somebody has a problem with it, if any party member has a problem with it, they have to immediately resign as a politician, not just resign and go into some other party. Because this will keep happening. If this continues, this will keep happening. Someone from BJP will come into Congress, someone from Congress will come into NCP, someone from NCP will come into BJP. That doesn't make any sense. There is no stand. Nobody is taking a firm stand, and there is a need that the politicians who are going to be the leaders, who are going to be in charge of the government, who are governing the state, they need to be stable. But if they act unstably by moving from one faction to another, then it's not, how are we expecting them to take care of an entire state, of an entire country? Isn't that something that we need to question ourselves? Would you rather choose a person who is stable, who is focused, who knows what he wants and what he wants to give and what he wants to work on? Or would you want to choose somebody who's unstable, who one day says I'm with BJP, the other day he says I'm with Shiv Sena, the other day he says I'm with NCP? That this doesn't work, right? Now the entire thing is, these people are doing what they want and nobody is asking the citizens what they want. So I think the bigger question is that citizens need to voice themselves now that we have social media and say what they want. whether they are okay with that alliance, whether they are not okay with that alliance, what kind of what kind of parties are being formed, who are forming which parties, who is becoming the CM, who is becoming the deputy CM, what is happening. I think as citizens we need to involve ourselves in it, and we don't involve ourselves in it because we think it's very time consuming, and who cares about politics, it's a headache, etc., etc., which is completely understandable. But you also need to understand that the people who will form the government will form your policies, they will form your infrastructures, they will help you in agriculture, education, unemployment opportunities, all these things will come under the control. So even if they keep changing it, you need to be involved actively in it. Even if you're not interested in politics, you must at least be interested in your own personal life and your surroundings and the surroundings of the future generations. So I think it's definitely an important task for you to think clearly with your own mind and not get influenced by media politics, not get influenced by politicians' speeches, not get influenced by the people around you who want you to think in a certain way, and just think on your own. For that, we need to provide clear uh, clear factual information for you to decide what is wrong, whose side you want to stand on, whose side you don't want to stand on. As a journalist, it's my duty to give you the right information and the factual information, no bias opinions and no sides. But as a citizen, for me as well and for you also, it's your duty to think and act upon it and voice your opinions and concerns without the fear of being shunned down. So that's about it for this video. I think for me, Maharashtra politics has been very confusing for a very long time, and I have been tracking it for a very long time, and I felt that it is everything is happening at every point of time, and nobody's really able to understand what is going on. So I felt the need to make this video just to explain the entire timeline of MVA. If you still have any questions or if there are any doubts, you can definitely comment below and I can help you understand that as well. And you can also share your opinion, whatever you have, whatever you, that's the whole point of this video, that if you have an opinion that okay, this MLA was wrong, this MLA is right, I think this party was better, they should have formed an alliance, you need to discuss. As citizens, you need to be involved actively in the formation of your government, because then that is going to impact you at some point. If you like this video, please do like, share and comment below your thoughts, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more such informative content and stories that matter to you. I'll see you in the next one.